Another story of survival from a couple in Belmont Lakes Preserve. Mark and Joyce live in the house behind us in this gigantic master plan community. It is hard to tell, but this is one of the harder hit homes. Their windows were blown out, the roof was torn off, but this amazing roofing team working right now, building a new trellis just this afternoon. The roof there almost completely covered again, but earlier, Mark and Joyce walked me through the damage and shared their story of how they managed to survive.
I was just entering the house and said, Mark, do you know there's a tornado watch, a tornado warning? And he said, Joyce, I don't like the sound of that noise.
This is your kitchen, that's the window. And Mark, you said you felt the wind come in and blow this glass out.
Yes, yeah, just like that. I mean, it was so fast.
What did it feel like when the tornado hit the house?
I don't scare very easily. Incredibly scary when it hit the house. People say that a tornado coming in sounds like a train. I'd say probably closer to 1,000 trains or maybe 100 jet planes all coming at the house.
And you ran in here.
I came in here, turned, and the door slammed on my arm, and somehow I ended up hitting the tub with my head. And so when Mark came to rescue me, I think I was crawling out of the bathroom. And I really don't know what happened at that point. See, this wasn't damaged at all.
This is a powder room. This would have been the most ideal
Yes,
safe space.
Absolutely, only a little debris.
This is the master bedroom. This is where you all sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the ceiling is gone.
Try this room.
What is this?
No ceiling. That's the master bath.
This is the master bath. And it's now outside.
Everything that had been above us, the roof and the ceiling, had fallen in here. So
Blocking the doorway.
yeah.
We had to navigate through here just for Mark to get his medication, and embarrassingly for me to get my cosmetics.
You were able to save some makeup?
I was able to save some
Well,
makeup.
so her cosmetics are to her like my medication to me.
We sort of crawled together, not knowing what else was going to happen, and stayed right there on the floor for a few minutes until things calmed down. And 5 minutes later, we looked up and the sun was out.
5 minutes later, the sun was out, and the sun is still out here in Nash County, and you can take a look at Mark and Joyce's home now. These roofers have done an amazing job of at least getting the roof covered again. So what is left of their belongings at least will have some protection from any rain and storms. Look, Mark and Joyce are both prominent members of this community, and the one thing they wanted us to pass along to our viewers tonight was the importance of paying attention to those tornado watches and warnings when they come on your phone or when you're watching ABC 11 and we come on the air with one. They were watching, they were listening, and they took cover, and fortunately, thank God, they had time to take cover. Also, they wanted to say, look, think about what that safe space is. When you hear Don or Quaylen talk about find that safe space in your home, it needs to be the most interior part of your home, hopefully with no windows and glass. They didn't pick the best safe space. It was safe enough that they survived this storm. But they want folks to think about that. A powder room downstairs with no windows would be ideal. You can see Joyce thinking about that now, but just lucky to be alive and thankful they got out okay. Stephen Amber.
Joel, Chopper 11, I know you know, is flying right above you right now, and we were just showing our viewers the work those roofers are doing, putting plywood in place there on Mark and Joyce's house. And yesterday we were showing our viewers the damage. We were getting our first look at this, but today it's really extraordinary to hear these stories, hear what people like Mark and Joyce went through, and to see that video you've shared with us of the tornado as it was happening. It just, I can't imagine how terrifying that was for those people.
16 miles long, as wide as 6 football fields, and when you're driving into town down 95 as we did this morning, you can literally see the path of the storm. Yep, it came through here, turn on Highway 4 to come into Nash County, no power along that highway. Yes, it came through here, and then when you get to see the Pfizer plant off on Wesleyan Boulevard and into Belmont Lake Preserve, where Chopper 11 is live over right now, you can certainly tell it came through here and in a wildly destructive way.
Yeah, it's just remarkable to see the images we're looking at from Chopper 11. That tornado was on the ground for 33 minutes, and there's their next door neighbor's house as well. But, you know, as we said, remarkable, and just miraculously no one was killed. There were some injuries. Mark and Joyce, though, are starting to rebuild. Joel, do they have power back in that area yet?
There is no power in this part of town. I haven't been through a home in Belmont Lakes Preserve, which is hundreds of homes on 1,400 acres of property, that has power. But as we know, as we've been quoting with and noting with the Duke Energy updates, they are making progress, just not here yet. There was no power as we were walking through Mark and Joyce's home today.